Hello, thank you for watching my channel today. My name's Sarah and my channel is called Your True Shelf. Today I am doing a TBR for a readathon which has taken place for the whole of September that I'm really excited about because my lovely friends are the ones hosting the readathon. So Sian Bert from Pastory Time and Heather from Soggy, Expat, Book Nerd have designed this readathon based on shorts, and there are 11 prompts, and Heather has designed this really gorgeous board here of all the different shorts and the prompts that you can download. I'll leave a link to Bert and Sian's announcement video and also to this and Heather's TBR video in the description box. So I've printed this off and I'm going to make it into like a bullet journal spread, but I'm just using it at the moment so I can tell you the prompts and what I'm going to read for all of them. So the concept is that each of their prompts, it's called Shorty September because the books are supposed to be short books, so sort of around the 200 page or less mark, in the hope that you can like get all of them done in that time. So I didn't realise, I thought I didn't have that many choices for this, and I started planning my TBR when we were away last week in Devon, but it was so hard without my shelves in front of me, so I've come home and done it. Faye's helped me, so there's some books I really wanted on there, but she's picked other ones, so I'm going to try and see if I can fit in a few extras because they are short, so we'll see. Sorry if you can hear a load of racket from downstairs, but they're playing on the Wii, so it's a bit raucous. So the first prompt is Shorty Shorts, which is a book from the 70s or 80s. I didn't think I had anything for this, but I actually had quite a few. But the one that Faye chose is from 1981, I believe. No, 1988. And it is The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. So this book, I've had it for quite a while. The reason I bought it was because Oprah loves it. It's a very famous book. It's like sold 65 million copies. It's a book where some people really love it and other people can't stand it. So I don't know where I'm going to fall on that, but I'm hoping in the love camp because it's an Oprah book, so already gets points for that. So this is like a fable about a shepherd boy in Andalusia in Spain. He's searching the world for treasure, and then he comes across an alchemist who basically talks about the essential wisdom of listening to our heart and following our dreams. So I think, yeah, because it's a fable, I think it's kind of maybe quite conceptual, I'm not sure, but that's the first one. Next, the second prompt is a runway fashion shorts, and for that is a translated book. So I think I only had one option for this, but I'm really excited about this, and I actually bought this because Heather recommended it. So this one is The Guest Cat by Takashi Hiraide, and this is translated by Eric Selland. So this book is set in Tokyo. There's a couple in their 30s who live in a rented cottage, and they work as writers. They don't have much to say to each other, and then a cat comes into their house one day, and she keeps coming back, and basically she brings sort of more light and joy into their lives through sort of playing with her and going out with her and her little ways and stuff like that. So yeah, so that I like to have the eyes are foiled as well, which is quite cool. But I'm a cat person. I have 2 cats. I've always had cats my whole life. So book about cats is good, and it's really tiny as well. The third prompt is Grandad Shorts, a book you've had a long time. There could have been a ton of books for this one. The one Faye chose, which I'm going to read first, is Our Man in Havana by Graham Greene. I bought this because some people here at a place I worked at like 10 plus years ago recommended this to me. I think it's a kind of a satire from the 60s maybe. Yeah, 1958. So this is about a vacuum cleaner salesman called Wormold. And his daughter spends all his money, and he gets given like a job as a spy, and then it gets a lot more complicated than he thinks, but I think it's, yeah, like I say, quite a funny kind of satirical book rather than like a, you know, like a thriller or anything. The two that I would really like to read for this, if I get time, I'll just grab them, so I've left them on the pile over here. So the first one is The Magic Toy Shop by Angela Carter. I've had this for ages. I've never read Angela Carter, but I've heard a lot of good stuff about her, so that's why I got this. This is this just sounds kind of strange. Melanie walks in the midnight garden wearing her mother's wedding dress. Naked she climbs the apple tree in the black of the moon. Disaster ensues, transporting Melanie from rural comfort to London to the magic toy shop. So I think it's like magical realism, but that's one I'd like to get to if I have time. And then another one that I'd like to get to is this one, which is Towards the End of Morning by Michael Frayn. So this is like a classic. It's from, let's just see what year, 1967, and it's in like set in a Fleet Street newspaper, and I think it's, again, kind of, I'm just interested in the time period and I guess the sort of culture then, and also it's a funny book, like another satire. So that's that prompt. Then the next prompt is Bermuda Shorts, a book set in another country. So for that one, I have gone for The Wind Off the Small Isles, and this is by Mary Stewart. So this is one that Heather actually sent me as just a little surprise gift, which was really nice. This is set in Lanzarote in 1879. So basically a young woman elopes with a local poor fisherman. She's wealthy and he's obviously poor, and then she's never heard from again. And then nearly a century later, a 23-year-old secretary to a famous author visits the island on a research trip, and she meets the author's estranged son and falls under his spell. And then she gets trapped in a cave. No one knows where she is, so she can't count on a rescue. So I guess the two mysteries are linked, and it's a very small book. It's only I think it's just a novella. It's only 68 pages, but I read and loved Thorny Hole by Mary Stewart, so that should be a good one. And then again, if I get time, the other one that I'd like to read for this prompt is The Wine of Astonishment by Earl Lovelace. So this is a book set in the Caribbean. Where is it? Trinidad. So it's about a fighter who is sick of American troops being in charge of their country and telling them what to do. So he decides to try and get into like a political role, but I think it all has a bit sort of tragic consequences. And prompt number 5 is Half and Half Shorts, which is read a book, then watch the movie, or read the book of a movie you've already seen. Love this prompt. So for this one, I've got two. One that I didn't even know was actually made into a film, but apparently it was. And that is 84 Charing Cross Road by Helen Hanff. And this contains 2 books, this book. So I think the first one is only like about 100 pages or so. Can't find it off the top of my head. And this is about like it's an epistolary novel set between New York and London, and like a friendship that forms whilst this woman is ordering books from 84 Charing Cross Road bookstore. And the other one, which I would probably prefer, to be honest, is Black Klansman by Ron Stallworth, because I have wanted to watch film of this for ages. And basically, so Ron Stallworth was the first black detective in the Colorado Police Springs Department. And he came across an advertisement for looking for people to join the Ku Klux Klan. And basically, he responded to this and posed as a white man. And it says this decision launched was surely one of the most audacious and incredible undercover investigations in history. During the months-long investigation, Stallworth sabotaged cross burnings, exposed white supremacists in the military, and even fooled David Duke himself. Black Klansman is an amazing true story that reads like a crime thriller and a searing portrait of a divided America and the extraordinary heroes who dare to fight back. So that sounds awesome. So I think that would be my first choice for this prompt, and then if I got time I can do this one. But like book to movie ones are right up my street because I love both. Then the next prompt is denim shorts and modern classic. Again, I have two options. So the first one is a tiny little one of those miniature penguin modern books by an author who I've wanted to read for ages because she is very much recommended on BookTube, and that is Shirley Jackson, and this is called The Missing Girl. It says it's a malice, deception and creeping dread lie between the surface of ordinary American life in these miniature masterworks. So this contains a short story, 3 short stories. So this is like really tiny. So that's the first one. And then the second one is Passing by Nella Larsen. No, this is about 2 friends. So one is called Claire and one is called Irene. They're both really light-skinned black women, and Claire decides to pass as white and she marries a white man and cuts all ties to her past basically, and Irene marries an African American man and is within the African American community, and this is what The Vanishing Half is based on by Britt Bennett. So I'd really like to read, I've got The Vanishing Half, I haven't read it yet, but I'd really like to read Passing first. So this was really old, this is written like 1929, so yeah, nearly 100 years ago, which is pretty cool. Then the next one is Hometown Shorts, a book set in or from the place where you live. So for this one, this is one that's actually from my family, because there's a tiny little note in the front, and I don't know what year it's from. I guess I do, 1958, Christmas 1958. It's to my Auntie Dickie. I'm not sure what relation she is to me. I'm not sure if she's my dad's great aunt, maybe. So she might be my great aunt. But to Auntie Dickie with love from Jennifer. So I'm going to have to ask my dad again, because it's my dad's side of the family, what relation they are to me. But I know they're both my relatives. And yeah, Christmas 1958. This is called, I haven't actually said what it is, The Boy John by Sidney Grapes. So this is a selection from The Boy John's letters to the Eastern Daily Press in Norfolk dialect, 1946 to 1958. So I'm not from Norfolk, but I've lived here since I came for university. And this is, so the Eastern Daily Press is like the local newspaper here. And The Boy John is like a kind of a character, I think. He was written by Sidney Grapes. And I read a little bit of this, like just literally just flicked through it when my dad offered it to me, and it was really funny. And seeing as I can really appreciate like the Norfolk dialect and things, having lived here for quite a while, I think this will be funny, really funny to read, and I'm really looking forward to it. And I just love that it's still in my family, like however many years ago 1958 was, so like nearly 70 years ago, is that right? 63 years ago. That's pretty cool. The next one is Skort, a book that mixes genres or doesn't fit into a genre. I found this one pretty hard, but I chose this beautiful book that I got from my children for Mother's Day. That is The Book of Spells by Robert Macfarlane and Jackie Morris. And so it says on the back, this is a book of spells to be spoken aloud. Here you will find conjurings and charms, spells that protect and spells that protest, tongue twisters, blessings, lullabies and psalms. So I have no idea what genre that would fit into, but it's absolutely stunning. Like there's, I don't know how many pages this is because it doesn't have page numbers, but there's lots of pictures and they're just absolutely beautiful, which I think will be really inspiring for me as well. The bits that do have text on are really small. so I'm putting it as a short book for that reason, but it's just so gorgeous. I'm really looking forward to it. Look, it's just beautiful. So that's that one. Then the ninth prompt is boxer shorts, a comfort read. So for this one, it's another one that doesn't have page numbers, so I can't tell you how many pages it is, but it's short and I've wanted to read it for absolutely ages, and it's another one with really beautiful drawings. And this is The Boy, the Mole, the Fox and the Horse by Charlie Mackesie, or Mackesie, not sure how you say his name. I guess everyone's come across this as well. It reminds me a little bit of like the Winnie the Pooh drawings, but it's basically like ink with ink drawings, and it's gorgeous. But it's got a really lovely introduction. It just says, this book is for everyone, whether you are 80 or 8. I feel like I'm both sometimes. I'd like it to be one you can dip into anywhere, anytime. Start in the middle if you like, scribble on it, crease the corners and leave it well thumbed. And it's like, if a boy is full of questions, the mole is greedy for cake. The fox is mainly silent and wary because he's been hurt by life. The horse is the biggest thing they have ever encountered and also the gentlest. And it's just basically their little adventures, and it's really, really cute, and I'm sure it'll be super comforting. And I'm hoping that the children will like this too. Then the 10th prompt is gym shorts, a book to get your pulse racing. So this could either be like a book to make you angry, a book to make you scared, or like a romance book. I could only find one thing that's on my shelves, and one that I think will make me angry, not at her but at the issues involved. That was a small book, and that is this one, No One Is Too Small to Make a Difference by Greta Thunberg. I've got on my Kindle wish list, I've got quite a few romance novellas, so I might get one of those as well, again all depending on time. But that's my answer for this one, because obviously with all the stuff about like the environment and how people aren't doing what they need to be doing, that makes me like angry. And then the final prompt is Ripped Shorts, a slasher or murder mystery. So this is one I really struggled with because I don't have any slashers, definitely. Murder mystery, the only one I had was an Agatha Raisin book, which is like cozy crime, and I just didn't really fancy that. I've kind of gone off that a little bit. So this may not strictly fit the prompt, I'm not exactly sure, but I got this from the library, and I was going to read it sooner, but I can wait till September. It's only like 2 weeks. This is Horror Store by Grady Hendrix, which I just love the idea of this because it looks like an IKEA catalogue on the front and inside as well, which is cool. It's a little bit long for a short book because it's 243 pages, but it's got really wide margins and it's got a lot of dialogue and the pictures, so I figured that it wouldn't be a long read. And this is the only thing I can find for this is horror, so this is the only thing I can find for this category, so I hope that's okay. So that's my TBR for Shorty September. If you're going to take part, or you're interested in taking part, please check out the links in the description box. If you're doing a TBR video, I would love to see that. If you can like tell me if you're doing it, and I'll go and watch a video. Or if you're not doing a video, you don't have a channel but you are making a TBR, like tell me what's on that, because I'm really interested to know. And please do it, because Bert and Sian and Heather are amazing. And yeah, I'll show you my bullet journal spread whenever I've done it, and I'm super excited. So yeah, I'll speak to you soon. Bye.